Florida State lands a tight end athlete prospect, although that's not necessarily what he played in high school. Brian Courtney signed with Florida State. He committed last year. It was kind of an unknown when he committed. I don't think Rivals even had a profile for him. He's listed 6'3", 225 pounds from Ashburn, Virginia. I think Florida State was the first school to offer, and he committed. And I don't know that a lot of other schools got involved and tried to recruit him. But Florida State really liked him. They like him as a guy, like I said, probably maybe a tight end. But obviously he's played mostly quarterback, and a lot of the footage we've seen of him playing quarterback, he's I don't want to say run first, but certainly running a lot at quarterback. D-Rob, we've seen guys like this before who maybe play quarterback in high school, but they get moved to a position like either H-back or tight end. How do you evaluate a guy like that? What do you see to look for to believe a guy can make that kind of transition?
The biggest thing is, athleticism is king, right? So as a coaching staff, I want to compile as many athletes as I can possibly get. And the more athletic they are, the better. And the more athletes that we have that are super athletic, the better we're going to be as a team, and we're going to look better as coaches. So, with him, obviously, you see he's a very good athlete. He's good with the ball in his hands, and he will have a climb. This will be a tough one because transitioning into a whole new position. That you've never played or that you've played very little of is a very hard thing to do at the college level. I think one of the good things about what I just saw just on the video was I saw him line up at defensive end. Actually, there's the clip right here. When your quarterbacks line up at defensive end and coming off the edge, that's going to give you some information that lets you know that he's a guy that's the physicality of the game is not something that's a concern to him. So I'd want that in my tight ends, and this looks like a guy who's got to climb, but looks like he's willing to get after it and figure out what he can be.
From a comparison standpoint, FSU actually has a tight end on the roster right now who played quarterback in high school, actually signed with Western Michigan in high school, Wyatt Rector, and then came to Florida State as a walk-on quarterback when he wasn't happy at Western Michigan, walked on at Florida State. They ended up making the move to tight end, and he's become a huge special teams guy. He's factored in a little bit in the run game and also as a receiver. But he made that move about a year and a half ago. It took him a while to make that adjustment. Is it more than just, again, as a layman, you're a guy who ran college routes and played against Division I players, and is it more than just being able to run and catch? How much does he need to learn about, and not just the blocking side, but just playing tight end or receiver?
Yeah. I'll tell you, it's a lot more than just running and catching. That may be the last of his worries in terms of learning the position. There's so much that has to do with body position, leverage, the techniques, and then understanding the defense and, how routes change or maybe how blocking schemes change based on what the defense is trying to do to you. These are things that not only have you not done that at the high school level, you've not done that, and you've been at a completely different position, catching snaps from center. So to ask a guy to do that over the course of 1 year is a incredibly tall task. Even in the position that he was playing in high school. So I have him at a 1.5 in terms of his rating. He's definitely going to have to redshirt. He's a player that's making a position change and a body change. But I have him at a 1.5 because I do feel like his athleticism is definitely a plus. It's a big plus. And so he's got a little, leg up in terms of, that transition and making it fast. And then again, like I said, seeing those clips of him at defensive end tells me that, okay, there may not need to be as much transition to the physicality of the game as most guys would have to make when they're moving from quarterback to an offensive position.
All right, that's Brian Courtney, who Florida State signs out of Virginia, and we expect him to be a guy that maybe plays tight end or H-back at Florida State in this Mike Norvell offense.